A very good way of summarizing the basic gospel message is that in the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, God saves sinners. That's it in a nutshell. Through the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ, God saves sinners. Now, implicit in this is the question, from what? Save sinners from what? And a very common illustration that Christians use, which is true enough as far as it goes, for the condition that they're saved from, is God is over here and there's a chasm, a vast, deep chasm, and then men are over here. And the problem is that man is separated from God. And then the question becomes, how do we build a bridge to get across the chasm from man to God? And the illustration goes on to say, well, we can't build a bridge. We can't do it. We can't accomplish it. And that's all true enough as far as it goes. And in that illustration, in that analogy, God's the one who reaches across the chasm. God is the one who becomes a man in Jesus Christ, and he's the one who builds the bridge. That's good, but it doesn't take a key ingredient of our problem into account. Our problem is not just that we're separated from God. Our problem is that we're separated from him because we want to be separated from him. We're separated from him because we're in rebellion. So there's one illustration of the chasm, true enough, but there's another illustration of a fortress or a wall that we have erected between ourselves and God. We want to keep God out. We don't want him to conquer our city. We don't want him to come into our domain. We don't want him here. God gives us up to our rebellion when we suppress the truth and unrighteousness. So we are not just lost sheep. That's one scriptural illustration. We are also rebels who must lay down our arms. So there's a wall that we have built by our sin and rebellion, and in Christ, in the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ, God saves sinners, meaning he breaks down that wall of resistance. He breaks down that wall of rebellion. Many of you have perhaps seen the famous painting of Jesus knocking at the door of someone's heart. You know, he's standing outside like a gentleman, and there's no doorknob on the outside, and the doorknob's on the inside, and Jesus is knocking at the door of your heart. I've sometimes wanted to commission a painter to paint my version of Jesus knocking at the door of someone's heart, and I would like to have it be a castle wall and a castle door, and a double line of angels with a battering ram, and a hand from off screen pointing at the door, and a worried-looking troll looking over the top of the wall. That's Jesus knocking at the door of your heart.